thank you so much for being here. You, I understand, breastfeed your 3-year-old son. Tell me why you do it and why this cover you think touched such a nerve.
Well, actually, I should say I have a PhD in neuroscience, and I studied the hormones of human attachment. So that's part of my interest in attachment parenting, was in the physiological normalcy of breastfeeding, of sleeping safely near your children, of having your children close to you. For us, you know, we absolutely believe that when it's no longer mutually desirable, the breastfeeding relationship, as all other aspects of parenting, will end. But I think the thing that's controversial to me about this cover is that not all attachment parents breastfeed into toddlerhood and beyond. That's not attachment parenting. And to act like there's some, attachment parenting police that's saying you're not mom enough if you don't do this, I think is a media-generated controversy. It doesn't exist. Of course, there's individual women who are told, because you didn't do this, you're not the same as me. That's not the policy of Attachment Parenting International. It's not the policy of Dr. Sears, who coined this term. And it's not the way primates work. This is how our bodies were designed to parent. And I also think, twice just in the intro, you've sexualized this image, referring to her as young and hot, referring to, the Jay Leno thing showing all these men lining up. This is not a sexual image. This is an image of what the mammalian body is designed to do, and that's feed and nurture a baby. And primates do this into the equivalent of toddlerhood. It's normal.
Well, maybe you're right, that mentioning that she is an attractive woman who seems to be posed provocatively is irrelevant.
I don't see it as provocative. I don't see it as provocative.
Well, that's why we have you on, to ask you about these things. I personally am not offended by it. I'm not a mother. I don't know how long women can breastfeed after having a child. That was one of my main questions, was how long does a woman produce milk after they've given birth?
It's a great question. So the physiology of the human body is that as long as there is a demand, there will be supply. I'm a lactation educator counselor also. It's one of the things we teach. In order to build a milk supply, you have to keep having the baby at the breast. As long as a child is stimulating the glands and the hormones that are used to produce milk, you will produce milk. I do still have milk, and my child is 3.5. You don't have as much as you have with a newborn because their demand is not the same. However, I should say that nutritionally and immunologically, there's still a tremendous amount of information still in breast milk, and the relationship, which is absolutely hormonally primed and designed, continues through toddlerhood as long as it is mutually desirable. Again, I did not think I would be breastfeeding a 2-year-old, much less a 3-year-old. We are on the way to him not breastfeeding. We place a lot of limits and boundaries around it, and that's what people do.
I personally think it's much better for a child to get his own mother's milk than to get a cow's milk. Cow's milk was designed for baby cows, not for human beings, which is one of the reasons
I happen to be a vegan, and I happen to agree.
All right, I think that's one of the reasons we have an obesity crisis, because cow's milk can fatten up a baby calf to a huge size. Time magazine has been criticized for sensationalizing this issue. You've criticized us for sensationalizing this issue, but we're looking at it. I don't mind criticism. I like to learn and evolve.